The reason to queue a tower is to get to reset on your auto attack. So do the one auto attack before you queue instead of queuing ahead of time, and it'll get you one extra auto attack. It doesn't really matter in this situation, but it definitely can matter. Also, one thing that I skipped over was that this ward, when you were doing Baron, protected you from absolutely nothing. There's no way that they were coming from this direction. So just drop the ward over here and drop another ward over here, which you do have, although I think that's not in the bush. So drop a ward over here, but actually in the bush, or even lower, drop one over here. Yeah, these team fights are pretty one-sided since Wukong wasn't there anyway. So having this ward, or you can put it, if you have 3 wards, you put one in their blue area, one so that you don't have a blind spot over here, and then one in this bush. And then if you see them coming into this bush, you can move one of the ones from here into here if you have just your sightstone wards. And then you get a very good idea if they're coming. Sometimes it's true they could be coming from this direction, but at that point in time, there was absolutely no way they were coming from top lane, so this ward wasn't really worth it at all. I'll just watch that team fight quickly. Yeah, you could have exhausted him. If you'd exhausted him and then flashed out, you wouldn't have died to tower. It wouldn't have really mattered. At this point, it doesn't really matter. But again, it's good to be in a habit of doing good things. So just if you're taking too much tower damage and your flashes out, just flash out of the tower. And an exhausted and an ulting Wukong is almost never a bad idea because he does so much damage. Okay, so your team's just doing silly things because you guys are so far ahead. I actually sell one of your pink wards for an oracles. You guys are about to make a game-winning push, pretty much. Or you can just take dragon and then get an oracle. You'd like to be able to get vision of Wukong when he does his dash thing that makes him invis. It'd be really good if you had vision of that, and a pink ward can help, but an oracle is more likely to help. So I would just go for an oracle at this point. Just say, let me get an oracle, and then go for the game-winning push. And Locke is okay. I think Shelia's would have been a better choice, but Locket and Aegis are 2 items that it's never bad to get on a support. It's just that there can be better choices, and Aegis is pretty expensive, which is why you typically get it on a top laner jungler instead of on a support. So right now, you guys can just siege them until the top minions start to push on their base. There's pretty much no reason for you to be diving. You have a very good dive comp, so you certainly can dive if you want to, but you can also just wait for, these 2 super minions are going to be pushing on these towers really soon. And you can just wait here and then get this outer turret. Or you can rotate mid and get this turret. Wukong has to defend, so... Again, try to peel for your carry in team fights. He's making it hard. With that positioning, when he was standing over here, he was making it pretty hard to peel for him, for you to peel for him, because he was standing too far forward. But, do try to peel for him, if you can. Okay, so Wukong's the only one alive. You should just be hitting the towers. Put a W down, put a W on these creeps so you can kill them quickly. And you're tanking the tower, you don't really want to be tanking. But you should absolutely be hitting the towers. Like, Wukong's the only person alive. You don't have that much DPS against turrets, but you do have DPS against turrets. So you guys are actually just not going to win the game here because you and Brand aren't hitting towers, but you 100% had enough time to win the game if the three of you had all been hitting the towers instead of it only being the Kog'Maw. And it's the sort of thing where the game isn't close at all, and they're about to surrender, so it's not going to matter. It can absolutely matter. Like, not pushing the base can change the game from being won to being lost. And again, you sort of missed your ult there. You could have gotten the actual stun on all three of them instead of just the slow, but that's not so important since you're basically only doing it for the proc. But there is no way that Kog'Maw was going to be able to take them on after you respawned when his GA brought him back. So you could have just run and flashed over the wall, and then you would have been able to get out. Yeah, so I guess overall, for support in general, I think you need to work on your ward placement and timing of aggression, and then work on your Leona skill shots. You missed a lot of E's, and it's great if you can hit an R that you led with, but it's really, really hard to do that. It's actually generally easier to lead with a flash E instead of an R. So you can work on doing that instead if you need a longer range engage. So work on that. With Sona, work on poking more in lane, and just try to understand when your champions are capable of getting kills, because there were definitely times in both games where you could have been a lot more aggressive than you actually were. So yeah, work on those things, and yeah, I think that's it. So good job and good luck.